I'm Ryan Harper. I've done thousands of videos here on the internet, on YouTube, and today we're reacting to lawyer videos. If they're good, they're bad, they're funny. And with me, I've got a good friend of mine, Josh Melio, who is almost a lawyer himself.
So close. You ready to do this?
Let's do it.
Not with 2 hungry mouths to feed.
This is a porn, right?
I really think they reused some of the actors.
Do you need your voice to be heard?
I still think it's a
you
porn.
Want justice to be served. You deserve a lawyer who takes your case seriously.
I love how he
I'm
says
serious when I
serious.
say I won't back off until you get what's rightfully yours. Hi, I'm Campbell Alexander. and
Now
I'll
it
fight
looks
for
more
you.
like an SNL skit.
When my father passed away, I was
The
a big
rapid
over the
picture-in-picture,
weather.
right?
Actual client.
And they say actual client,
Campbell
but it does
Alexander
not look
left
like an
me
actual
with
client.
She looks like a
And
Stockholm
now, I'm living the
victim.
life I always dreamed of.
Can we talk about how serious the
I gotta
music
be
is?
honest with you. Over the
Is that an
years,
Oscar
I've
on his
helped
desk?
thousands of clients win their cases.
Or Emmy, or?
Not hundreds,
Yep.
thousands. That takes experience. Serious experience.
Just like his serious
On the
face.
job. Can you get me a fast cash settlement?
Yes, I can.
I don't want to be deported. Can you help me to get my green card?
See, Joe Puedo.
Oh my God, that would never play now.
Malpractice. Do I have a case?
Do I have a pen? Yes, I do. I'm Campbell Alexander, and I won't stand for injustice.
He'll sit
Wow,
for it though.
wow, wow.
My case seriously. He made it clear to me from the very beginning that I have rights.
He's very thorough, very efficient, and he gets the job done.
There's no way a real
Being on
doctor
God's
like
green
that
earth
might have been an
has
actual client before, but that was not a real doctor.
Serious rights. When the law puts up a fight, I fight for you.
Thanks, Campbell Alexander. Thank you, Campbell Alexander.
Like,
Gracias, Campbell Alexander.
When things are looking down,
they did a voiceover?
look me up. I'll go to great heights to get what you deserve.
All right, let's react
I'm
to it.
Campbell
all right,
Alexander,
so-
and I'll fight for you.
He may be a good attorney, but whoever he hired to do this video
Yeah,
steered him in a wrong way.
yeah.
Like, the writing was... I honestly, like, honest to God, I thought you were pulling a prank and this was a porn video.
I had to watch it like twice before I realized it was real. I thought it was a parody the first time I watched it.
Yeah, and it wasn't until the red-haired woman that I was like, oh, this is more like an SNL skit.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll actually give like a compliment sandwich. So I'll say something that I think it did well in
Okay.
between just us dogpiling on it. So a lot of lawyer commercials and a lot of the ones we'll see, they don't actually have clients in it. And I think that there's a missed opportunity there because really no one likes lawyers. Even likable lawyers are still kind of unlikable, but clients...
Case in point.
Yeah, me. Zing. But clients are really interesting, right? Like there's an opportunity to say, hey, this single mom hurt her arm and I was able to help get food for her kids and shirts for school, right? Like that's a cool story that people relate to. We don't really, like, otherwise it's just a shouting contest where lawyers are like, I'm the best,
Well,
trust me.
I'll also jump on the compliment train.
Yeah.
And it is hard. Mm-hmm. It is to do any kind of video production.
Yeah.
And it's also hard to get the confidence to be on camera yourself. So this guy may be completely horrible on camera, but he at least tried. So I will give the compliment for, hey, taking the leap and going forward with it.
And then I'll say from a terrible standpoint, the music, the length, first of all, it's like a 2-minute commercial.
But this is probably this commercial, from the way, the granularness of it, the editing of it, the lighting of it, it seems like it's from the era that would be on
Cable TV, late TV.
like late night, like, you know, where you buy that a 5-minute spot in
Yeah.
an hour.
Remnant. But yeah, I mean, overall, this was bad, but we're actually going to see some worse. They get worse.
Did you want to go step by step on this first?
Let's. I think it's too long to go step by step. Let's do that for the smaller ones.
Okay. Well, did you not want to like talk about?
The rating.
No. Well.
We need to give them a rating. I
Well,
think.
what I was gonna say is like, and I don't want to dogpile, but like if you go towards the early, if you can find a frame where he's in his office, where the guy's in, yeah, right there. The shadowness that would never play in modern video now. Like the lighting is so harsh, the framing, the bad shadow. You could easily fix that with a backlight.
Yeah.
The hair light. So again, this is granular. It's probably not interesting. So, but anyway,
Well, and I'll say one more thing too. There's enough negative stereotypes about lawyers. Whoever greenlit him holding piles of cash like that, like you can't have it both ways. You're either going to be talking about serious issues and people getting hurt, or you're going to be like a ambulance chaser,
Right.
like flashing cash. So, I would say that from his branding, it's not cohesive that he's the good guy.
and I don't know what kind of law he practiced.
Personal injury, obviously. I mean, maybe more. He has a green card joke in there,
Right.
But most of it is focused on some type of personal.
Can we
injury.
fast forward to the part where he sits down and let's just watch that one more time?
I don't stand for a
Because I
justice.
think there needs to be two separate ratings. There needs to be a rating for the overall video and an overall him just sitting down.
Be like right here. Be like right here.
Right
Right,
there.
right
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Right
yeah.
there. Right
Let's just watch this.
Alexander, and I won't stand for injustice.
I mean, that's amazing.
That's comedic gold. But also, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't fit. Like he's suggesting that he will stand for injustice. Like
Yeah.
he's wink, wink.
yeah.
I'm gonna say 2.2 out of 5.
I'm going to give it a 4 only because effort is such a huge.
You're giving that a 4 out of 5?
Oh, out of 5?
I said 2.2 out of 5. Okay, are we using 10?
I thought it was 10.
10. Okay, I'll go up to a 3 if we're using a 10 scale. You're a 4. I'm a 3.
Yeah,
on
yeah,
a 10
yeah,
scale.
yeah. No, not
Okay.
a 4 out of 5. No.
All right.
Okay.
Let's go to the next
4
one.
out of 10.
Badly hurt. All you have to do to cheat yourself
Immediately better.
out of all or most of the money you deserve
From a production
is to
standpoint.
sit on your hands and don't call a
Just
tough
wait.
lawyer. Insurance companies can thrive on suckers who try to go it alone
He's
and
just gonna
find out
scream
too
at
late
you.
they're in over their heads. Call me.
Literally
I'm Lowell the Hammer Stanley.
He's literally
459
screaming.
cash. I will go after them for every penny you deserve. 459 cash. 459 cash.
What I love so much about this, and I like how in the last video I was like, you probably don't want to be holding cash as a lawyer. Then he's like, cash is our phone number.
Well, so you could just tell this is more modern than the other one just
Yeah.
because the quality of it.
Time jump.
But what it feels like to me, and just going through my memory bank of all the random lawyer videos I've seen online or on TV, is it's almost like one lawyer who the first person to ever do any kind of commercial ever did something like this, and somebody was like, "Oh, that must work, so I'm going to do it," and then everybody does it, and it's like, is there any metrics that works?
It's crazy how smart lawyers are, but how bad they are at marketing because they're smart at this one thing. And it's true for a lot of different fields. Like when I worked at a law office, it would be shocked, and they did bankruptcies. You'd be shocked how many lawyers and doctors, people that make a lot of money, are coming in getting bankruptcies because they're not good with money. You can be really smart at one thing and really bad at another. And most lawyers, they don't know from their left hand from their right hand when it comes to marketing. And I'll just like talk about this for a second. What is the deal with lawyers and hammers? We got this guy,
Texas Hammer.
yeah, but that's who everyone in Texas thinks of as oh man, what's his name?
I don't know.
All right, well, the Texas Hammer is like a big personality. I can't think of his name right now. But then this guy,
Jim Adler?
Jim
Oh,
Adler,
Jim
yeah,
Adler.
Jim Adler, the Texas Hammer, and he's on the billboards and everything. But this guy is a completely different guy in a different state.
Yeah.
that just also came up with the hammer. Like,
I'm sure there's a hammer in every metropolitan district.
yeah, there's like a hammer, there's a gavel.
Well, that's why, I have a whole thing spiel on like kings and queens.
Yeah.
like there's an auto king in every town. There's a king of whatever in every town.
Oh,
it's just
yeah.
like queen,
Yeah.
and you're just like, come on, guys.
So for this,
There's a hammer.
why is this bad? Right? Go
Well,
ahead.
before we say why it's bad, I would like to throw a dart of why it's filmed like this. Because I think these ads, going back to the last video, are for late night viewing. And the only way you can get attention from like that late night viewing is just yelling at people.
This is an opportunity to.
I'm just throwing some.
I think you're right. This is probably filmed in like the early 2000s or somewhere in that period. I don't think this is 90s.
I think it was late 2000s just from the quality of it.
Okay. So like there's a thing that they didn't understand at this time, but it is available now. And it's that even the best ad, is still something people want to skip
Yeah.
or they'll look at their phones, right? So when they made these ads, their thought process was, oh, we need to get attention. We need to do something to grab attention. So I'm going to scream at you. I'm going to flash cash. And that's the kind of thing that you do to grab attention, but it does not give you any meaningful information. Like I don't know what working with this guy is going to be like. He's just screaming and saying cash. I don't know like if he's going to what his record is. He doesn't even talk about all the cases he's won. He's just like, I'm tough and I'll bring cash.
You bring up an interesting point. And I think that's one that advertisers and especially lawyers maybe don't look at is the time aspect of it. So the first video we watched, 4 minutes long. This video, 30 seconds long.
Yeah.
So that I would assume that first video was in that they bought a time slot at 2 a.m. or whatever. This is not a YouTube advertisement. This is an advertisement that would play on regular TV.
Mm-hmm.
When they filmed this, most likely it was pre-streaming era, pre-TiVo era, so you couldn't skip it. You could not pay attention and look away, but if you got a guy yelling, you're probably going to look. So I think this is a, hey, made you look type of video. This type of video does not play in a modern era because we could skip it.
Yeah.
And I don't think, and because we've seen so many videos like this still playing out, I don't think a lot of these guys have learned the lesson of like, oh, there's new technologies out there.
I think the average person in this time period who watch TV or consume media, they could tell you 2 or 3 or 4 lawyer nicknames. Like this person's the hammer, this person's the cash guy, this guy will get my check back. But I think very few people could tell you what the lawyers actually do. And so there's a opportunity always to be telling your story and to be telling the story of your work. And, you know, it's missed here. But hey, I'm going to say 6 out of 10.
I'm going to say 5.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I know that was a long pause to come up with a 5.
Long pause. This one's great.
Hi, I'm Byron Brown, personal injury attorney. How do you know if I'm the right guy to settle your claim? Because I got this scale thing? Nope. Because I have all these law books?
Every lawyer has to have books. It's like a thing.
Because I'm wearing this fancy blue suit? Bull. I'm straight to the point. I'll answer your call.
Censored
no
cursing.
BS. I'm the anti-lawyer lawyer.
I love it so much.
So that video, I'm going to go ahead and skip to ratings. I'll get it a 9.
Yeah. So
now let me preface preface. I don't know if it'll actually get the results he wants, but I liked watching it.
So I'm going to give it a 9 as well. I'm not going to give it a 10 because he didn't say what he does, right? So it's very memorable, it's very funny, it's very shareable, it's very catchy, and he didn't tell me he's the best accident attorney, he didn't tell me he's the best divorce attorney. And then can you go back to where he pulls the sleeves off? Like this is actually a great clip and then pause.
Bull.
So I'll tell you right now, for a guy that like the tattoos are shocking. You don't really think biker gang just because he's bald. A lot of lawyers are bald. But now that we see the sleeve tat, like full on biker gang, right? Here's the thing. I think that he looks very like funny and relatable, but I'm not sure I want I'm not sure I want this guy as my attorney. And he's literally saying the anti-attorney. And it's like, okay, well, but I want an attorney. It's like, I do need an attorney, though.
Right. And if you go, let's just play it again. It's such a short one.
I'm the doctor who's least like a doctor.
So, I'm Byron Brown, personal injury attorney. How do you know if I'm the right guy to settle your claim? Because I got this scale thing? Nope. Because I have all these law books?
Great shot.
Because I'm wearing this fancy blue suit? Bull. I'm straight to the point. I'll answer your call. No BS. I'm the anti-lawyer lawyer.
So, from a production standpoint,
10 out of 10.
That was on the cheap, an $80,000 to $120,000 commercial.
It was incredible. Yeah.
And if somebody's not familiar with production, they'd be like, how's that? The amount of people behind the scenes to film that.
Oh yeah.
There was probably at least 20 to 30 people. Setting all that up.
Maybe.
I'm just saying from a production
now, with the juxtaposition of his anti-BS, anti-lawyer lawyer, with that production quality, would it work if it was shoddily done? I think that's what made y'all like it. Imagine if it was, even half that budget or a quarter of the budget, where you can tell.
I think we could have done that with a lot less budget. I think that the production value really carries the video.
Yeah, and I don't know the year of this, but there was a moment of what's that?
More recent for sure.
Well, obviously it's more recent, but there was that era. There was like a 2 to 3 year gap where we had the Old Spice. We had all these niche commercials
4 years ago. So right then.
Yeah. There was all this niche gap where there were so many videos exactly like this, where the Old Spice, the Old Spice is the best one I could think about. A lot of the shaving razor ones, Dollar Shave Club, and they all made similar commercials that were viewable. Like, how many views does this thing have?
Oh, 30K.
Wow, that's
unfortunate.
Yeah. Hopefully it's on TV.
Hold on. It's unfortunate, but you know how happy most lawyers would be to have 30,000 real viewers on an ad? Like, you have to pay people to watch legal ads. Like, people don't go and seek it out and share it and like it. And I'll bet this one has a decent amount of likes, right? How many likes does it have? 200 something? It's just upper right. I can see it's like 200, I think.
210.
Yeah. So, like, that means people were like, man, that's a great lawyer ad. How many people do you think say that about a lawyer ad normally? So
Never, yeah.
I think the production value was good. I think his likability was high. The only problem that I have is I think his branding is off. Your message in the commercial, for it to actually convert, has to match your audience.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to think of an audience. I mean, I think he's going to get every single member of the motorcycle gangs that get drug charges, but he's a personal injury lawyer. So now he's like, okay, I guess he'll get the motorcycle gangs that wreck their bicycles. That'll be his
bicycles,
motorbikes, Harley.
Yeah,
David
and one thing I want to bring up is I don't think, just like when it comes to doctors, I don't think the general public realize that there's different kinds of lawyers. There's different kinds of doctors.
Yeah.
Like, I stubbed my toe. I need you. You're like, I'm a contracts attorney. I can't. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
So I think so maybe he's playing on the referral game.
But maybe, but it's also opportunity, right? If most people don't know lawyers do different things, you have the opportunity as a lawyer to be the one that's associated with that thing.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, so the overall rating, we're saying 9s.
I'm going to keep it at 9.
Yeah, I'm okay with that too. I would have given it a 10 if it was a little more clearly attached to a client outcome.
This looks like another porn.
Getting into a car wreck is no problem for me.
It's pretty intense.
I had the help of a Hollywood stunt team to wreck this car, but if you've been in a car wreck, you could be hurt. I'm attorney Brian Longcar, the strong arm.
Car wreck, call in the strong arm.
So I'll say a couple.
The help of a Hollywood stunt team in your car wreck, better call me. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Pick up the phone, call me now. The strong arm.
So I'll say a couple things. So one, this guy had a ton of commercials to choose from, and two, he did tragically overdose on cocaine, so he's no longer with us. But also, I figured this commercial is so old. This is like a 30, 35-year-old commercial. Like, every lawyer is eventually going to die. So, like, I don't want to, like, set the precedent of we're not going to talk about it because the person said. So let's just talk about this video. And I figured to throw it out there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know why that's relevant, but okay.
It was a big story. Like, if you Google the guys, like, okay, the reason I say it is, like, if you're like, oh, I'll call that number, and then you go online or something, and it's like a big story about his death. It was like suspicious circumstances and stuff. Yeah. Anyway, so the video, I don't care. I don't believe that he was actually in that car. I think,
not at all.
But like, he wants us. How dumb do you think I am, Brian Longcar? Like, you didn't wreck that car.
No. And from a pitch meeting, it's like, it's almost like they're like, we need to do a commercial today. We have no time to pre-produce. We have no time to write. And then, like, some intern's like, well, we could wreck a car. That would be jolting.
There's a thread in this. Can we go back and play it, and I'll talk over it just from the top? Yeah, you can turn the sound off.
No problem for me.
So there's a thread in this that was also in the other commercial where the guy had the cash. It's a stereotype that lawyers care about cash. You probably want to go away from that. It's also a stereotype that lawyers lie. So when he's trying to really act like he was in that car, I'm thinking, oh, here's another shady lawyer that's lying to me, because he didn't make it funny. Like, oh, guys, how silly would it be that I'm pretending that I wrecked this car? He's got, like, the safety things on. Like, he really wants us to think he was the one that drove the car. There's no way you drove the car. So now I'm thinking, oh, this is just another dishonest lawyer. So I think you either make it more believable to where I don't think you're lying to me, or you make it funny. But he's in that middle zone where I feel like you think I'm stupid.
Well, but again, though, I think in that era of that commercial specifically, it came from an era where they were above people. I still think lawyers probably have a little God complex, but I think he had, I think it was worse 30 years ago than it is now.
Yeah.
Because I think now you have so many TV shows that have kind of brought lawyerness to the masses.
Yeah.
Back then there was a mystique to it, and I'm God.
But isn't this also a guy? He's acting like an action hero.
It honestly, like, what did I give the porn one? A 4?
Yeah.
I give this one a 2.5.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I am going to rate this a 3. The only reason it's not lower is because he wants car accident victims, and the whole video is about car accidents. So even though it's not executed well, there's a thread of this is the type of law I do. I would associate a car accident with this car accident attorney way more than I would associate anything with the earlier one. So
yeah.
I'm going to give him points for that, but then everything else in the execution was sloppy as hell.
And to me, if you're gonna do a cool stunt, like, make it a cool stunt. All it did was.
It could have been really good if they did the same thing and they added a couple more seconds of a guy that was clearly not him coming out of the vehicle, and then a funny transition where he pretends like he's that guy. But It was obvious the way they did the cutaway. It's like, we're not stupid.
But I don't think that would play nice now. It probably would have played good then as well, but I don't think creatively people were in that zone.
Yeah, we've evolved. Let's see the next one.
Evolving creatures. What?
This is just like shock and awe.
It's a strong power of a heavy hitter.
Practicing the art of persuasion. Okay, I'll just start. This was terrible. Everything about this was terrible. This was awful. The green screen looked crappy. There's no creative direction. I'm giving this a 1.
So I watched this video, and I'm going to give it a little anecdote of a mini story.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not long-winded, but I'll get there.
Play it again so we can see the dogs while he talks. Turn the sound off.
Yeah. A buddy of mine who is one of the most brilliant computer programmer types ever. During the initial first iPhone, you had the Apple Store, and he was making this cool app to turn your iPhone into a USB wireless device before anybody else did it. The guy that made that fart app became a millionaire overnight.
Yeah.
And it was just like, here, my buddy is super genius when it comes to computers and is struggling to get any notoriety from what he's doing. And the guy that made a fart app made all that money. So I look at this video, and I know the guys that made this. I don't know them personally. I'm assuming the guys that made this video charged that law firm a pretty penny to make that.
There's so much fancy technology. Why wouldn't you?
And I'm going. It infuriates me because I know some of the stuff that we do here at Harper Belmont, and yet that guy probably made I don't know how much money, but a good penny to produce that. It's disgusting to me.
I was talking about
if I could give this a negative, I would give it a negative.
Okay, and I gave it a 1, which I thought was the lowest score we could give. But
wait, I'll give it a 1. I'll change my because I gave that first one a point for effort.
Yeah.
So a point, but I'm infuriated.
Well, it's like
at all of that.
It's like, look, okay, go to the end screen. Just throw up the end screen for a second. It's like practicing the art of persuasion. Here's the thing you don't want to talk about, okay? If you're a lawyer, don't have this in your ad. Don't say we're good at lying. Don't say persuasion. Like, if you're doing a grade of good to evil, persuasion's right here, right? Now, charismatic, right? Motivating, right? Convincing, even. Convincing is such a better word than persuasion. Even persuasive sounds better than persuasion. There's so many negative connotations with persuasion, and that's the only thing about law that's in this commercial. It's 25 seconds of dogs, and then we are manipulative.
So the only thing I could think of, now that I've cooled off about the people that made this video, is it says it's serving upstate New York.
Okay.
Or serving New York. I'm assuming
no one's reading the fine print, by the way.
No, I am.
Okay.
Only because I'm trying to. The only thing I think of is like, okay, I know New York City is not upstate, but let's just say it's New York City.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of dogs in New York City. So maybe they're trying to play on people that don't have dogs, and they're like, "Oh, I wish I had a dog." And here's a
You
video.
sound like
I am grasping for straws.
You sound like a hostage that's trying to talk about why, like, look, okay, I needed to get out of the house anyway. So the kidnappers have taken me on a hike into the mountains. I needed the fresh air. This is horrible. Okay, let's go to the next one.
This infuriates me more than the Catch Me Outside girl.
The only good news about how bad that commercial was is it would never be successful. So we don't have to worry about seeing it every day.
Okay, I'm really banged.
I fucking love that commercial.
Badly hurt. I'm Jim Adler, the Texas.
There he is.
Do the insurance company say no money and no help? Is the insurance company offering you a dirty deal? Are you being run over? Jim Adler hammer for you.
Is she an actual
broke her
client?
ankle and had surgery when a driver ran a red light. I hammered for $53,553.60 in her pocket.
Call 713-777-4000.
713-777-4000.
Okay, so wow. First of all, that was only 30 seconds. It feels like a lifetime. Like so many things were happening.
Well, because this is local to where we're at here.
Yeah.
This dude has done 1,000 of this exact same commercial.
Yep.
Over and over and over.
And so he knows what he's doing. Like this,
Yeah.
here's the thing with some of the other ads, like with that dog ad, I would bet my life that did not return any kind of money. That was a failed commercial.
Yeah.
This makes money, right? So like go back and play it again without the sound, and we'll just kind of like talk a little bit. So things that I like about it. Let's do a positive run on this. So pause it right there. I like that it flashes you with the badly hurt, right? It's talking to the audience immediately. Are you hurt? Do you have a broken bone, paralysis, medical bills? They're reaching empathetically to the viewer. So it's on target, right? This guy is not talking about divorce. This guy is not talking about bankruptcy. He is very on point with, are you hurt? Are you hurt like this? That's good. Keep playing it.
Well, another thing is this reads like a business card.
Yeah.
So if I'm looking at this, and because it's paused, it looks exactly like a business card.
And I also think that the phone number is visible the entire commercial. I think there's a phone number visible the entire commercial. I'm pretty sure. Go ahead and hit play again. Yeah. Pause here. Okay. So like if I am going to critique, even though the formula works, okay, I am not sure if this is supposed to be just a female spokeswoman or if it's supposed to be a client. It's a little unclear there, but there's always an opportunity to show a client. So where could this have been better? Showing a client, showing someone that's rehabbing an injury, or showing someone that's like holding their head after a car accident. Like there's an opportunity there to even further bring that home. The girl is distracting. Keep hitting play. I like that phone number's there the entire time. Okay, we gotta talk about the monster truck in the background. Okay, pause it again. Lawyers have a lot. Go back to the monster truck. Lawyers have a lot of ego, and if someone's directing and like the director's not like firm, their ego will just go crazy, and like you'll have a monster truck crashing trucks. Okay, look. Do you think if you were in a car accident, you really want to see cars smashing and grinding together in the background? Like that's not the most sensible thing.
Yeah,
for
but
a car accident.
I think this goes to what we were talking about the other day about how it's not. They're trying to make a memorable moment. That way, in the future, if you have a car wreck, give them a call.
I don't know about the monster truck. I think it's too heavy-handed. Like I think some people would see right there. That's perfect. That's a car accident. That's
right.
The exact.
But it goes back
association.
to the era and the style of this video of, hey, look at me. This is what I'm doing.
But we have a time machine. We have a time machine.
Yes. I don't know if the video was just this scene played with the other scene with no monster truck. I don't think people wouldn't look at it.
This is the best video we've seen so far from a branding perspective.
Yes.
From a client journey perspective, from an association of what kind of law they practice. I think he's the only person we'll see that right here, pause it, $53,000 for a broken ankle. How specific? So like if you have a broken ankle, you're going to be like, man, this is the guy that got someone $50K for a broken ankle. So he ties it in so specifically that for his niche, he's going to be completely
also on the
winner.
53,553 60 cents. That is, I mean, it seems like such a bullshit number, but it makes you remember the number versus $53,000.
Oh,
$55,000.
I'll tell you right now, just because I know the rules, because I'm almost an attorney. I passed everything. I'm just waiting on the paperwork. That's the exact number, because if they misrepresent in an advertisement, they could lose their license forever.
Really?
That is not a fictional number. That is the exact actual number.
Even though
to the penny.
Even though they don't put any client information up. They
can't put the client information up.
Right.
But they can't fabricate settlements.
They're like, hey, I did a thing and we made this for that person, even though I can't tell you exactly what that thing was or who that thing was for.
Yeah. So, like, for example, if someone were to accuse them of like fraudulent advertising, the American Bar Association could definitely do an investigation. And then even though they can't publicly disclose the name of the client, they would then have to show the ABA, yeah, here's the settlements that we actually got.
I did a case where there was...
They'd have to show on that match broken ankle, $53,560.60. Yeah, they'd have to have that.
That's insane.
Yeah. It's good that we don't want people making up. Otherwise,
of
otherwise
course.
I'll open up my law firm tomorrow and I'll never settle the case. And I'll be like, I got my client $10 billion for a broken ankle. It's like, well, I'm going to choose Josh. Obviously, he got $10 billion for a broken ankle.
I would give this an 8. And the only reason I'm giving it an 8 and the other one a 9 is because the other one was so entertaining and so over the top. This one, I'm giving it an 8 because, like, it's memorable, it's local, and he's so consistent with how many of these he's done.
I'm giving this a 9.5, or I have to drop the bald guy a point to an 8 to keep the scoring system. So this is, to me, a clear half notch better.
Right.
Even though the video production was so much better than the other one, this will close clients, and this leaves a memorable message.
I'm looking through the lens of production. If we're looking from that, I would go up to a 9.
Yeah.
9.25 or whatever. So we just went through all these videos. What was your favorite? I'm assuming it's the Texas Hammer.
Yeah, I think I got to go with the Texas Hammer. He's consistent. He's built a successful business, and he talks to his audience. He tells you, hey, I'm going to get you money when you hurt your ankle, you hurt your foot. He's very specific. Texas Hammer's my winner.
So for me, the Bald Dude's a winner only because from a production standpoint, from an organic view standpoint, I think that's the only video out of all the ones we watched that you would watch again.
What's his name? I hate that we're just calling him the Bald Dude.
The bald biker sleeve
Brian,
guy.
I think.
It doesn't matter.
Brown Law. No, let's Byron Brown. Let's put some respect.
Brown. Sorry,
the man
respect
spent
the man.
$100,000 on a commercial. We're not just going to call him the bald guy.
The bald Byron.
Tatted
Anyway.
R. McBaldinson.
So, but I will acknowledge that out of all the ones that we saw, the one that's probably the best performing is Jim Adler.
Yeah.
And the only reason, and we could definitively say it's probably most likely a fact, is because we see him all the time here, and he's done so many of those similar commercials.
Well, if I'm a lawyer, I'm not going to trust the person with the dog green screen. I'm going to come to someone like you at Harper Belmont, and then you're going to take care of me with an advertisement, right?
Yes, and again, the dog green screen people, that one infuriates me. I hate that you just brought it up because it's reignited passion.
And how do we get in contact with you?
HarperBelmont.com.
Awesome.